evil human experiments that actually happened. Yo, any YouTube frogs hanging out, having a good time, getting a little silly, stopping on this video. If you want to watch the original video, it'll be the first link in the description. Okay. That would be fucking goof. Oh my god. I said the F bomb in the intro. We're cooked. No ads on this video. Gosh darn it. Dag nabbit. Anyways. Feel free to go check out that first video, or the first link in the description to the original video. If you don't want to watch my commentary. If you do stick around, tap in with the commentary, tap in with me, making fun of chat, and all that fun jazz. Feel free to drop a like and a sub. And if you want to get involved in the chat, second link in the description to the Twitch channel. Also, the audio's a little mixed, all weird, because I have an ear infection, so I'm using speakers on my normal headphones, so I can't really mix it very well. Dude, that would be awesome, Lemonade. Okay, I'm back. I got pics of those skylights. Hell yeah.
Evil human experiments. All right, fellas, let's start things off a little easy. Back in the 4th century BC, Greek civilization was reaching new heights.
The year is feeling better. A lot better, actually. Like, especially the last 2 days, it's gotten a lot better. Yo, Lemonade! Thank you so much for coming over to the Twitch stream, brother. I appreciate you, brother. You're a real one.
We're getting more and more curious about the world around us and began asking really important questions. What does that do? How does that work? Should I leave the oven on? How do magnets work? Will she call me back? Is this real life? Or is this just fantasy? Does the shrimp really fry the rice? Or not? All pretty valid questions for people.
Should I shove metal rod down my pee hole?
People just wishing to learn the workings of the natural world. While many focus on the mechanics of the universe, others chose to focus on the inner workings of humans themselves. And not only from a philosophical standpoint. Sometimes you just want to know what makes us tick. That's what Greek physician Herophilus wanted to find out and document in detail. After getting his education at the Hippocratean medical school in Greece, Herophilus turned his bulging eyes towards the city of Alexandria, Egypt, with its big, throbbing library chock full.
Why does it already feel like this dude wants to already, bro? What the hell?
Full of scrolls just begging to be read. Time to go to Egypt, he said. And so he did. Doot, doot, doot. After getting himself established and taking on a student, a young physician named Erasistratus, they got to work. Together, the two men would begin to carve out a new branch of science, anatomy. But in order to do so, you need some bodies to cut open to start slopping their guts around. And what better way to obtain fresh bodies than to use condemned criminals, captured and supplied by the Alexandrian rulers. Little Hero and Era were like kids in a candy store with a hopeful glimmer in their eyes, excited to begin their wondrous experiments.
What?
But surely the criminals put under the knife were already past their expiration date, right? Nope. Instead, Hero and Era performed live human dissections, called vivisections, to broaden their understanding of the human body. They even went as far as to perform these surgeries in full view of the public for anyone who thought it would be cool and interesting. Wow, that's both cool and interesting. That's what I'm saying. Herophilus documented their findings in extreme detail, making breakthrough discoveries of the human anatomy.
Imagine stealing someone's shiny rock. Imagine stealing someone's shiny rock and then being like, all right, yeah, we're going to cut you open now, pal. Yeah, come here. Yeah, we need to figure out what the fuck a spleen is, so... I know it's like more advanced than cavemen, obviously. They're very much more advanced than cavemen. But like, imagine you steal someone's shiny rock, then you're getting cut open.
In doing so, he inflicted unimaginable suffering to his subjects. Since anesthetics weren't really a thing back then, the victims felt every cut and slice, at least until they passed out from the pain or died of blood loss. Dissecting intestines, reproductive organs, eyes, or even purposefully damaging the motor nerves to inflict paralysis. It was basically a big game of, what does this button do? In the end, Hero and Era's findings over 40 years...
Nah, My butt cheeks are clenched together listening to this right now, bro. We're gonna butcher you in front of your family. Yeah, literally. What the fuck?
Of vivisections were revolutionary for the medical world, especially since human dissection would be outlawed shortly after their work was completed. It wouldn't be until 1800 years later that performing human dissections would be a medically acceptable practice again. But like, you know, on dead people? Their work was stored in the renowned Library of Alexandria, but they were lost in the Great Fire a few hundred years later.
No. Dude. Imagine all the shit we lost info about. That is one good thing about the internet is, like, unless somebody completely, like, goes on, like, a tear to destroy something, like, intentionally, like, a major government or something goes on a tear to wipe something from the internet, you can there's so much information now that will live forever. People are evil? Yeah, literally. Man, I knew I should have stolen that dude's 5 shekels. Yeah, dude. Holy shit. Oh, man, dude. No, I shouldn't have stole that cup of water, clean drinking water from fucking Nancy. Then she told on me. I wonder what they're going to do if they're going to lock me in a cell. You're going to do what to me? To my testicles?
Project 4.1 was actually a side project proposed immediately after the deployment of Castle Bravo, a high-yield thermonuclear bomb that was dropped in 1954 by the United States. Bravo was part of Operation Castle, a series of other high-yield nuclear tests with the goal of establishing superiority over the Soviet Union. The Marshall Islands, a remote Pacific group of islands, served as ground zero for the detonation of the nuclear weapons. Castle Bravo was the strongest detonation, and surprisingly produced 2.5 times the expected explosive yield, resulting in an explosive force equivalent to 15 megatons of TNT. To put that into perspective, that is 1,000 times the explosive force of the nuclear bomb dropped on Hiroshima, Japan in the final days of World War II. Like, goddamn. To make matters worse, the Marshall Islands were occupied with citizens. So US officials were kind of like, sir, shouldn't we get those people out of the... Bless you. Thanks, sir. Allergies have been bothering me all day. Must be the radiation, right? No, but seriously, are we gonna get those people out of the radiation zone? Yeah, you know, that was on my to-do list. Well, too late now, so let's just see how things turn out. Operation Castle was quickly amended with the addition of Project 4.1. This new section aimed to study the human response to significant radiation exposure. You know, as if tens of thousands of victims in Hiroshima and Nagasaki weren't evidence enough. Commander of the U.S. Naval Medical Corps, Eugene Cronkite, was in charge of the project and swore everyone involved to absolute secrecy.
Dude had a fuck-ass hairline, so he had to go test people in their fucking reaction to nuclear fucking explosion radiation exposure, bro. What the hell?
Because he thought the public wouldn't be too keen on the whole test nuclear radiation on non-consenting people thing. Overall, 239 Marshallese residents were exposed to significant levels of radiation and began showing signs of radiation poisoning a few days later.
Dude, radiation poisoning? Oh, bro. I'm thinking about that Wendigoon video, bro. It's just like some of the worst shit, bro.
Symptoms included loss of hair and significant skin damage with weeping wounds, although the wounds did heal rather quickly. Immediate observations ceased after 75 days with the conclusion that no long-term effects were likely. But just out of curiosity, regular checkups were performed on the residents for years after. Women saw increases in miscarriages and stillbirths, and newborns that survived experienced developmental difficulties, impaired growth, and a disproportionate development of thyroid cancer. In addition, about 1/3 of those exposed had developed significant tumors by 1974, 20 years after Operation Castle commenced. In the following years, Marshallese representatives spoke out against the United States, with accusations that the scope of the experiment was premeditated and intentional, to which the US officials responded, "Nuh-uh."
is the U.S. ever just like, maybe we are the bag? No, they're just like, no, dude, no long-term effects, just cancer and stuff. Yeah, just stillbirths, miscarriages. No long-term effects though. That's fine.
During the early years of the Soviet Union, it wouldn't be uncommon for political opponents to quickly fall ill with a strong case of the death at the hands of poison. In fact, it was quite an effective and discreet way to silence any and all opposition without causing too much of a stir. Well, besides the public reacting to mysterious deaths. And that is why we must rise up against... Oh, look at that. They got another one. So how were the Soviets so good at developing successful poisons? Well, you've got to run preliminary trials on living subjects, of course. So in 1921, a year before the Soviet Union officially formed, the Kamera was established. This was the Soviet Secret Service's poison laboratory. Here, new deadly poisons were developed and tested on human subjects. Those tested were prisoners from the gulags, various labor camps built around the country for anyone who even had a fleeting thought that wasn't approved by the Soviet Union. Carry on. The ultimate goal of the Kamera was...
No, it's crazy, bro.
To devise a poison that was not only lethal, but undetectable. It would be colorless, tasteless, odorless, and untraceable in an autopsy. Prisoners would be unknowingly administered various test poisons, which were disguised as medication. For me, if it isn't an orange Flintstone vitamin, I don't trust it. The various poisons tested included ricin, which causes severe internal distress and suffering, cyanide, which can cause violent seizures and heart attacks, and curare, a potent muscle relaxant that makes you
I got a Glock in my Ferrari.
painfully choke to death. In the end, the tests were pretty successful. For the Soviet Union, not for the prisoners. Research led to innovative ways to discreetly
I shouldn't be laughing at that.
dispatch a target, from deploying a cyanide mist to making an assassination look like a heart attack. But the blue ribbon winner was the concoction known as C2, carbolamine choline chloride, which was basically liquid depression. Exposure to this sucker sparked a very curious reaction. Instead of a violent telltale "I've been poisoned" type death, the victim would simply become weak with a rapid decline in health, all while maintaining a calm and silent demeanor. Death occurred within 15 minutes. Since the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, Russian officials have claimed that the Kamera has been disestablished and abandoned. Yeah, sure.
Bro, me and these clouds gonna fight? They really gonna make me miss 2 cool-ass events in the same year? Real, bro. Instead of testing this shit on random people, why not horrible people? Like people who hurt children. Yeah. I mean, I guess, like... I don't know. In 2 of the scenarios, they were testing them on alleged horrible people, but we don't know, like, how horrible those people were. Like, did they really just steal 5 shekels in wherever the fuck it was? I'm blanking. I want to say Rome, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't Rome. And were the people in the fucking Soviet... Was it Soviet? Right? No. Whatever. Sorry, I was paying attention to the experiments more than where it was happening. Were they, like, bad, or were they literally just like, yeah, I don't fuck with Stalin? And they're like, all right, to the camp. Go on. Yeah, stole a piece of bread and got cooked. Drake better run. Yo! Yeah, Drake's lucky they don't do tests like this nowadays, dude.
Now, you may have heard about the Tuskegee Syphilis study, which was an unethical medical study funded by the
Nah, bro. Oh, I thought that was a mask. Never mind, I'm gonna shut up.
United States Public Health Service in
United States!
1932, which involved the study of nearly 400 African...
I've heard about this, bro! Because of my mom. My mom was like, bro, do you know what the fuck they were doing? I was like, no, what's up with that?
Service in 1932, which involved the study of nearly 400 African American men who had naturally contracted syphilis. The goal was to observe the effects of the disease when left untreated in African American males. Even though penicillin, an antibiotic cure for syphilis, eventually became widely available to the public, the afflicted men were intentionally never cured. Fucked up, right? Well, the US decided to outdo themselves with the Guatemalan syphilis experiment. In 1946 to 1948, more than 5,500 Guatemalan natives, including children, were involved in the experiment against their will, with the Guatemalan government granting access to the unwilling patients in hospitals, mental institutions, and even orphanages. Around 1,300 relatively healthy individuals ages 10 to 72 were intentionally infected with syphilis and even gonorrhea.
Boy. America. Boy, they know how to be horrible, brother. America, they sure know how to get it done, brother. Holy fuck. America is on a crazy run right now, dude. The last, 100 and... I mean, well, since, inception. America's been on a crazy run, bro. I know motherfuckers would be like, well, there's worse countries. I can literally already read the YouTube comments. Oh, God, you stupid liberal, there's worse countries. Yeah, dude, doesn't make it right either, okay? The government wouldn't do that. Oh, yes, they would. Windigoon. Yes, literally. Evo, what's up, homie? So we can fund this, but we can't get me a cheap-ass root canal? Yeah, bro.
Transmission was either done by direct bacterial contact into wounds or by sexual transmission with infected native sex workers, which were funded by the US government, by the way. The latter of which proved to be a very...
Yo, why did she have to have a hairy coochie, though? What's up with that? What's up with that? Are you saying that all women with bushes? Yo, you saying all women with bushes have an STD? What's up with that, brother?
Which were funded by the US government, by the way. The latter of which proved to be a very effective method of infection. The guy in charge of these experiments was
Yo, this guy is evil. This guy is evil. Look at him. He's a little miscreant, dude. Look at his face. Nah, dude. This is the type of guy that's like, you don't want to see a nice guy angry. Oh, you don't want to see me mad. I'll give you syphilis. John, why are you talking like that? You're 27. Well, now that I think about it, why was I speaking like that to you? He's the reason why people think there's lizard people. He looks like a lizard. Looks like Patrick Bateman, the fuck? Next time someone in the U.S. gets arrested for sex work, I'm gonna go, nuh-uh, remember when y'all funded them sex workers?
Dr. John C. Cutler, but you can call him Dr. Dickass. He often failed to keep accurate medical records of his experiments and instead would only provide anecdotal evidence in his findings, probably because he knew what he was doing was unethical, which very much sounds like something only a dickass would do. But all joking aside, the experiments conducted on these people were gruesome. Perhaps one of the most notable documented examples of what these people experienced was about a female patient named Berta. The following is an excerpt from that document. Berta was a female patient in the psychiatric hospital. In February 1948, Berta was injected in her left arm with syphilis. A month later, she developed scabies. Several weeks later, Dr. Cutler noted that she had also developed red bumps where he had injected her arm, lesions on her arms and legs, and her skin was beginning to waste away from her body. Berta was not treated for syphilis until 3 months after her injection. Soon after, on August 23rd, Dr. Cutler wrote that Berta appeared as if she was going to die, but he did not specify why. That same day, he put gonorrheal pus from another male subject into both of Berta's eyes, as well as her private areas. He also reinfected her with syphilis. Several days later, Berta's eyes were filled with pus from the gonorrhea, and she was bleeding from her private area. 3 days later, on August 27th, Berta died. Told you he was a dick-ass. The overall goal of the study was...
Dude. What the fuck did I just hear? Bro, yo, how did this guy get any power? And how did people let this continue to happen?
Was to determine the effectiveness of penicillin in preventing the STDs. Dr. Cutler had allegedly finalized his reports in 1955, but no evidence was ever found proving that the reports were submitted for peer review or even published. So, out of all of that suffering, nothing of medical value was produced. Though, I will say in some glimmer of fairness, a treatment program was established by the United States and made available to the affected Guatemalan population, but only half were reported to actually have received treatments with a questionable quality of care. United States President Barack Obama formally apologized to the Guatemalan government in 2010, 62 years after the study was performed.
Yeah, our bad. Well, at least somebody fucking stood on business. What the fuck? What the fuck? Real life human centipede energy? Literally. Literally.
Yeah, that last one was quite the doozy, huh? Well, buckle up.
Not this one again? Unit 731? What's up with 731? Don't tell me. Don't spoil. Don't spoil. Shit like this happens today, so I'm not surprised. The only time people get in trouble is if another power gets mad about it, then the bottom of the bucket takes the fall and all the rich people get away with a slap on their hand. Yeah, fucking shit is fucking wild. And I can't believe I'm glad now that there's more of a conscious awareness as a human fucking race from everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like now that we have the internet and people can communicate this shit, because like, yeah, this fuck shit seemingly just continues to happen over and over again. We continue to see it happen over and over again in different fucking parts of the world, and no matter how advanced we all get or whatever, there's still so much bullshit that happens, you know? And again, I'm glad that that's getting called out now, at least in a small way, on the internet. We got to hold these motherfuckers to better standards in whatever country, not just the U.S. But I think the U.S. really does, as somebody that's from the U.S., that used to be very patriotic, that then, like, realizing more and more what the U.S. has done, slip away from that patriotic stance. And to be fair, I've had my fair share of patriotic moments in the last couple of years where I'm like, fuck yeah, America, right? But, like, slipping away from that and realizing all the fuck shit that America has done, you know? I'm not the... I mean, maybe at one point in my political ideology, I was the person that was like, I fucking hate America! You know, I'm not to that point right now. But there is definitely a lot for me personally that has happened in America where I don't think I'll ever be able to feel proud of America because of all this fuck shit that they have done, and continue to do, like all the shit that America continues to do. So, and I get it. I empathize with people. I also understand why people are like patriotic of America. Like it's, you know, there's like cool shit, you know what I'm saying? First Amendment, depending on where you lean politically. Second Amendment, you know, I'm sure there's more fucking sick amendments. Those are just the two that people point to the most. And you know, it is you get a lot of opportunities in America, you know, but I just don't think I could ever be like, yeah, I fucking love America. I'm kind of like, damn, bro. I'm fucking disappointed. Yeah, that's just my personal viewpoint, you know? But has Chris sounded quiet all night? Yeah, I'm quiet. I'm more quiet because I can't make everything else louder because it's coming through speakers and I don't want to piss off my neighbors. So you got to turn your volumes up a little bit. Anyways, Unit 731.
Because it's about to get way worse. See this right here? This is Unit 731. It was home to some of the most notorious and truly evil war crimes committed by the Japanese in World War II, which are definitely up there with some of the worst in the history of mankind. Unit 731 served as a lethal human experimentation and biological weapons laboratory during the Second Sino-Japanese War between China and Japan, which ran concurrent to most of the events of World War II. This nightmare facility was established in 1935 in the sub-provincial Chinese city of Harbin, 4 years after Japanese forces invaded the Chinese region of Manchuria. Inside, hundreds of thousands of Chinese and even some Russian prisoners of war were subjected to some of the most egregious and horrifying human experimentations known to man. Experiments performed on men, women, and children, which is everyone. Those chosen for experimentation were dehumanized and referred to as maruta, or logs, rather than as people, because the cover-up story for Unit 731 was that it was a lumber mill. It should be noted that the vast majority of the experiments in the facility were carried out to fulfill morbid curiosity, with those performing or overseeing the studies described as merely playing. A testimony from a Japanese professor who witnessed the studies was quoted saying that some of the experiments had nothing to do with advancing the capability of germ warfare or of medicine. There is such a thing as professional curiosity. What would happen if we did such and such? What medical purpose was served by performing and studying beheadings? None at all. That was just playing around. Professional people, too, like to play. So basically experiments were like, I wonder what would happen if we just hucked a grenade at a guy. Bang. Oh look, he exploded. Hey, can I go home now? Gee, I wonder if this large...
Nah. Yo, what's up, Dredge? How's it going, homie? I saw the movie and they show everything they did. Really? Well, I don't identify as a man, woman, or child, so don't take me to the to do experiments on. Yeah, I'm mentally, according to your standards, mentally messed up in my head. I don't identify with either of those three, so leave me alone. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, throw him in the mental facility. Yeah, why not? Yeah, we can't do experiments now. Can the neighbors really hear your speakers from there? I don't know. I'm just paranoid.
Large heavy object will crush this guy. Yup. Will this guy freeze to death if I freeze him to death? Wow, who would have guessed? A lot of these experiments were designed to test the absolute limit.
Nah, I mean, obviously, he can't portray much in a YouTube video, but I think that's being very generous with what they probably did in this facility.
Of the human body. Tests included depriving victims of food or water to see how long they could survive, placing victims in low-pressure chambers until their eyes popped from their skulls, injecting victims with animal blood, hanging victims upside down until death, or even draining victims of blood just to study blood loss limits. Some victims were even dehydrated in front of large hot fans to the point of mummification. At the time of death, they only weighed 20% of their initial body weight. Perhaps one of the worst examples I've read was the forced pregnancy of female victims. The mothers were injected with various diseases and drugs just to see how they affected the unborn child, sometimes performing a vivisection, cutting the fetus out of the mother for examination. There's honestly so many more gruesome experiments that I just can't get into here, so if you are curious, I would encourage you to look them up. But it's like...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not, I ain't doing that, no, dude, I like to sleep. I like to sleep at night, not, like, laying up at the ceiling, or looking up at the ceiling, like...
Shit, really bad, so you've been warned. By the end of the war, as Soviet forces were closing in, Japanese officials had all remaining prisoners executed, and the entirety of Unit 731 hastily demolished to destroy any remaining evidence of the program's existence. The United States had discovered trace evidence and pressured Japanese officials into spilling the beans.
The fuck is this?
Under threat that they would be handed over to Soviet officials for trial and punishment
Oh, shit.
if they did not cooperate. Once the US learned the full extent of the horrors of Unit 731, all of those involved were swiftly brought to trial and executed for their crimes. Except, no, they actually weren't. In reality, the United States claimed that the data collected from the inhumane atrocities was actually pretty valuable, since it is otherwise ethically unobtainable through conventional means. As such, many of those involved were granted immunity and freedom in exchange for the data.
Yo. 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 There's no way. Right? There's no fuck, dude. Well, I mean, to be fair to the US, weren't they literally like, oh yeah, well, now that Hitler's dead, yeah, let's get some of the Nazis over here to help us. Yeah, hey, yo, we're trying to go to space before the Soviets. What you got? You got some good shit? Oh, you experimented on innocents? Huh. It don't matter. Get us to space. You know? Type shit. Or at least that's what I've been told all my life. What are these videos? I'm doing my makeup so I wasn't paying full attention. Truly evil human experiments that actually happened. They froze a woman's hand in liquid nitrogen and broke one and then degloved the other while they forced the teen soldier corps to watch. Babies get affected when the mom drinks, smokes, or takes drugs. What do you mean you want to see if a disease affects the kid? Bruh. If you have 5 seconds, watch the video I just sent you. What the fuck is this? Nah, that's crazy. By chat history? Yeah.
The deal was struck, and the United States kept everything under lock and key. The Soviet Union, however, pursued trials against the top military leaders and scientists from Unit 731. In the end, only 12 individuals were tried and sentenced to several years in labor camps, although the United States repeatedly denied that Unit 731 ever existed. Oh, that was a bummer. Here's something to cheer you up. I'll see you over there.
These execution methods were insanely cruel. Oh, yeah, that sounds like an uplifting one. Boy. Yeah, chat, I think we need to learn more about this. This one's going on the fun reacts. Yeah, so that'll be fun. Some of them were arrested, but they still let the scientists work with us under supervision. Oh my god, bro, that shit is crazy. What is this? Something strange happens when you follow Einstein's math. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch this in my own time to see if I can even comprehend any portion of it. Dude, this shit's crazy. Remember, kids, if you think that the government would never do that, they probably would. Psychopaths are everywhere, and you'd be surprised how many of them go into science and healthcare. Something worse about Unit 731, they weren't all prisoners of war. A lot of them were random civilians who happened to be pulled from the areas surrounding Unit 731. This makes the United States equally guilty for appreciating the experiment results of Unit 371 and for forgiving the experimenters in exchange for data. Yeah, I would agree. This video just kind of like solidified my the US has done a lot of fuck shit. So fun fact about Unit 731, to this day, Japan has never apologized. In fact, it took fighting tooth and nail to get Japan to admit they even did it. Oh. This is not the first time I've heard of Unit 731, but it still makes me feel the same amount of anger, sadness, and disgust as it did the first time. The fact that those monsters got away unscathed is a travesty. Yeah, especially since they were supported by, the US. They're like, oh yeah, dude, fuck yeah. Turn up one time. Yeah, you guys are good. It's really fucked up when the Japanese Unit 731 and yeah, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, even made their German counterparts to tell them to calm the fuck down. No, that's wild. If that's true. It's people like this that make me understand why the concept of hell exists. Yeah, sometimes I really hope that hell is real, like for the most evil people, Nuh-uh, works every time. Here's something to cheer you up. Proceeds to suggest these execution methods were insanely cruel to me. Yeah, same. A lot of them, like the Japanese general, either pew-pewed themselves or took a capsule. Surprise, bitches, I lived. Yo, what's up, Greenish? Greenish, you just missed the best YouTube video ever, bro. What are you doing? Oh my god. Yeah, this one's going on the fun react too. Oh, the pig farmer. Canada's yeah, this is going on the fun reacts for sure, bro. For sure. This ting. Psychopathia doesn't always mean the person is evil, but people who take it to this level will never stop. They don't necessarily know they're psychopaths. They don't understand human emotions like empathy. Yeah. I wouldn't even say that the people in that video, even like a lot of them were even psychopaths, you know? I think they're just like cruel individuals. Like I'm sure they understand emotions in some way. They're just horrible, horrible people.